What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the New York Giants franchise rebuild here on Madden 25. Today, we're going to get into the offseason. I was thinking about it, and we have no shot at the playoffs. Why even waste our time in these final two games this season? Let's just go ahead and sim through them and get into the offseason. That's what we've been waiting for. We want to build this team up for the future. So without further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and get right into this. We lose to the Cowboys and drop to 6-10. It was a high scoring game, 38-24. Prescott threw a touchdown. Davidson threw a touchdown. Running the ball, Dow had 3 touchdowns against us. Keenan Jackson had 1. Tracy had 1. Receiving the ball, Jameson Williams did pretty good. Wandale as well. Malik Neighbors is up there. They're a couple guys close to 1,000 yards, so we'll see if they can get there. I'm not going to bench any starters in Week 18. Just going to let them play here. No TFLs, only 1 sack for Dexter Lawrence, no picks. Some deflections here for a couple guys, no forced fumbles or anything like that. Patterson's still playing really well. So we're 6-10. We play, who do we play in Week 18? I don't even remember. I think it's the Jags. Yeah, the Jaguars. They're also 6-10. So this game does have some implications on where we're going to be picking in the draft. If we take a look at that, we could be a top 5 team. There's a lot of 6-10 teams, so a little too early to tell here where we're going to be picking and stuff like that. But what I want to go check out is the Rookie of the Year races. I know we've been looking at the Offensive Rookie of the Year, but somehow I've been forgetting to check the defensive side. Offensive, Davidson drops down to 5th, so not looking likely that he's going to get that. Defensively, though, Antoine Russell is in 1st, but Amir Rowland is in 2nd. If he could get bumped up, 1 spot here, have a pretty good Week 18 game, that could bode well for him. So we'll have to see what he can do. And the Giants do get the victory here in Week 18, 23-3. Davidson throws another touchdown along with 200 yards. Running the ball, again, we don't do too well. Tracy does get another touchdown. Neighbors with a big day, over 100 yards and a touchdown. Pretty good for him. Blocking-wise, we give up a couple sacks here. Mike Brown has been all over the field. 7 tackles for Amir Rowland. He doesn't get much else other than that, so I don't know how that's going to bode for him in his Rookie of the Year chances. Patterson, I think he ends the year perfect, so that is pretty good to see. Gonna have to re-sign him. I don't know if we have already or not. It's been a couple days since, actually it's been probably about a week since I've recorded. I got really, really sick, so I apologize for, the lack of uploads recently, but like I said, I was really sick. I could not do anything. We got a couple things that we got to do this week. We actually had a player sign up our practice squad, Gregory Sapp, so I don't even know who that is, to be honest with you guys, but we end the year 7-10. If we take a look here at our team ranks, we did pretty good passing yards wise. We were 9th. Worst run offense. Defense was middle of the pack. We could not defend the run, though, and that is definitely an area of need that I want to address. Actually, let's go ahead and go look at the team real quick here and see some of the things that I want to address. Offensive wise, it looks like Harvey was injured here, so he's there, but definitely could use a guard. James Daniels is a free agent, so guard is definitely going to be a big need in the offseason for us. I think we're pretty good at our skill positions, maybe a running back, but, maybe Keenan Jackson can step it up there. Obviously, Daniel Davidson is our quarterback. I think this offseason is going to be heavily focused on the defense. We have Brian Burns here. He was the only guy I didn't play in Week 18. I let Nathan Russell play here. Middle linebacker, I like Mike Brown. I want him to try to develop a little bit. He's a speedy, rangy, tackling linebacker. McFadden's been pretty good. Thibodeau's a free agent, and he does want a lot of money per season. So we'll have to see if we want to bring him back or if there's a better option out there. But I think our big need here is going to be in the secondary. Newbin hasn't been the best player on the back end here. He's a star dev, 25-year-old safety. He's 80 overall. His ratings are pretty good, but he just hasn't really played up to that potential, I feel like. And then Melvin Galloway on the other side hasn't really worked out. He was a rookie that we drafted in our first offseason. On the cornerback side of things, Amir Rowland, I mean, superstar dev, 80 overall. He's got to continue to develop, and he's going to be really good. We already re-signed Deontay Banks. I like him. Drew Phillips was playing really well in the slot in the games that we watched, but behind them, there isn't really much depth. So maybe we add another corner here in the offseason. But I really think we need to add like another elite defensive lineman to put next to Dexter Lawrence. Tershawn Wharton hasn't gotten much play time since we signed him, and maybe he does next season, but Huggins hasn't really worked out for us. And then Sam Hubbard was like a 1-year rental, but here are Huggins' ratings. He's basically just a run defender, and he's done okay at that. He was a lot better last season. He had 10 TFLs, only 27 tackles, only 18 tackles this season. So I don't know, actually, I want to go back to that and see how many downs he plays per year, because if he's just not playing a lot, then that would make sense. But I feel like he should be playing a decent amount. How can I see that under general here? Yeah, I mean, 448 snaps, 531 a year ago. Like, that's a good amount of snaps to be playing per year, and to only have like 20 tackles. I just need better production out of him. So I don't know exactly where we're picking at here in the draft. Mock Draft 3 usually isn't the best tell for that, but we'll go ahead and look at this anyway, see where players are going. See who's picking towards the top. Looks like the Jets are going to be picking number 1, and they're projected to take pass rusher Brian Claybrooks. We go down here, we got a tackle, Eric Springs, who's really, really good at wide receiver. He's definitely going to go top 5. And we're projected here to pick at 9. They have us taking Sean Brown, this running back, who does look really, really good as a power back. But obviously, we're not going to take him at 9. He's at around 2 to 3 projection. If we continue down, Tony Ruggs looks really good. Tyler Hitchens, I mean, if he fell to here, definitely somebody we would have to consider at 9. Continuing down the board, there's another pass rusher here, Johnny Fulton. Actually, he's not a pass rusher, I'm sorry, a run stopper who could be pretty good. Alex Barnett is the pass rusher. He looks all right. I have a couple guys on the board at each position. I already went through it all. We'll go through it here a little bit later in the offseason. Kentrell Johnson looks like he could be a pretty good receiver, but we don't need receiver. So that's how they project the first round to go in mock draft 3. Obviously, we know it's not going to go anything like this, most likely, especially with us taking a halfback here at 9. Probably won't be doing that. This is what the playoff bracket looks like this season. Looks like the Titans made the playoffs. I remember we played them back in week 1, and we beat them pretty handedly. So, interesting development there. On the NFC side of things, Saints and Bucks are going to be playing each other in the first round. The Bears make it in. Lions and Bills get the 1 seeds. Cowboys end up being the 2 seed. I actually didn't even see how our division finished. I see that from this screen. I can. Commanders were 8-9. We were 7-10. Philly 6-11. So they're gonna get a top pick, and that's actually not gonna be good for us. They're a pretty good team. I feel like I don't know exactly what went wrong for them this season, but they're gonna be picking a top of the draft. So let's go ahead and simulate through this and see who ends up winning the Super Bowl. Quickly taking a look here through the Pro Bowl, Dylan Spencer makes it as a quarterback. He was a guy who was drafted in this series. Chase Brown makes it okay. Do we have anybody here? Is it Johnny Pendleton or Jonathan Pendleton? Young wide receiver. I'm surprised that Hamlin doesn't make it. I feel like he had a pretty good season. We'll have to go check the stats actually after this. I didn't do that at the end of the year. Kind of forgot. But no Pro Bowlers as of yet. Josh Allen is a Pro Bowler. Antoine Russell, he definitely ended up winning Rookie of the Year then because he is in the Pro Bowl. He must have had an insane season as a rookie. And he's a defensive tackle. Would have been nice to get him. Any corners here? No. No safeties. Riley Patterson is going to be a Pro Bowler. He was really good this season. So that is going to be our lone Pro Bowler, Riley Patterson. Let's go ahead and take a look at the stats to end the year. 4,300 yards, 27 touchdowns, 17 interceptions. If we can get this number down for Davidson next season, we could be pretty scary. I mean, 7 wins in his rookie year. That's not bad. We can work with that. Running the ball, like I said, we definitely need to get better in this area. Keenan Jackson, only 453 yards, 3.2 average, 6 touchdowns. I don't know if he'll be a starter next year. I wanted him to be good and develop with that 98 speed. We'll have to see how the offseason ends up going. Jaleel McLaughlin, he was not a good free agent signing for us. Wide receiver-wise, Jameson Williams, 95 catches, 1,100 yards. Neighbors right there with them, 94 and also 1,100. 8 touchdowns for Williams, 5 for Neighbors. So good 1-2 punch there. Wandale in the slot as well, 800 yards from him, 60 catches, 5 tutties. Tyler Hamlin, 62 catches, 600 yards, and 4 touchdowns. That's really good. The one thing that Keenan Jackson did do good was the pass game. I really liked what he brought to the table there. And Ronald Bonds is the backup tight end. He also was pretty good. So I'm pretty happy with that. Offensive line-wise, Dan Moore did not have the season I thought he would at right tackle for us. I believe he's a free agent. So we're going to have to look for a new right tackle, and we're going to need some new guards as well. Ethan Sademan kind of struggled this year. He gets hurt a lot. So actually, what is his injury rating? I never looked. It is 93, so I don't understand why he gets hurt a lot, but he does. So he gave up 8 sacks. James Daniels gave up 5. He's a free agent. Andrew Thomas only gave up 4. A lot better this season than he did last year. Jason Harvey wasn't bad, but he didn't play a lot of the snaps this year. Only 633. Clint Perry gave up a sack as well. So I don't know why it says he's only played that many while everyone else... That doesn't seem right, but he only gave up 4 sacks, so that's not too bad. Defensively, Micah McFadden, he was all over the field. He was really good. Deontay Banks had 74 tackles. Amir Rowland in his rookie season, 69 tackles, 4 TFLs, 2 picks. Not too bad. Brian Burns, 12.5 sacks. Thibodeau, 9.5. Couldn't quite get to 10. Lawrence had 8 with 20 TFLs. So I like seeing that. Interception-wise, Newman did have 3 picks. 2 for Rowland, like we said, and 1 for a couple guys. Not a lot of turnovers here for this defense. Something we definitely need to work on. Riley Patterson, 27-27 with a long of 55. Only 32 touchdowns scored this year, or at least 32 extra points attempted. So around 32 touchdowns we scored. But a perfect year from Riley Patterson. I don't know if the developments have increased or not yet. Probably not. So we'll have to wait another week for that. Will Bradford in the punting game, pretty decent. And nothing in the return game. So, yeah, that's the team this year. Let's go see who won the Super Bowl. It's going to be a Chiefs-Cowboys Super Bowl as both teams make it all the way from the wild card round to the championship game. Chiefs barely beat the Titans here, and then they go on and barely beat the Colts and barely beat the Broncos. So all one-score games for them, pretty close. We'll take a look here at the Denver game as Mahomes had 3 touchdowns. Oh, yeah, Brock Purdy is on Denver now. I forgot about that. So, yeah, very close game, but Mahomes pulls that one out. Cowboys, they beat the Bears in the wild card round. Go on and beat the Packers by 1 point. Maybe a walk-off touchdown. Ooh, Jordan Love, 3 interception game. Not good for him. That's a tough one to swallow, especially when you only lose by 1. And then the Cowboys go on and beat the Lions. So we'll see who ends up winning the Super Bowl there. But if we go to the yearly awards, We'll go and run through these real quick. Patrick Mahomes is your MVP. Coach of the Year is Andy Reid. AFC Offensive Player of the Year, Lamar Jackson. Defense, Myles Garrett. Cade Hastings for Rookie of the Year. And defensive is LaMarcus Vernon. Quarterback is Mahomes. Running back, Najee Harris. Wide receiver, Rashee Rice. O-line, Creed Humphrey. D-line, Myles Garrett. Linebacker, J.O.K. D-back, Asante Samuel. And kicker is George Bonner. So that's the AFC. NFC now, Offensive Player of the Year, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Defensive is Micah Parsons. The Bears did sign him in the offseason, if you do remember, and he had a really good year. Tremaine Edmonds also had a pretty good year for them. Joey Shaughnessy wins Offensive Rookie of the Year. Davidson ended up in 5th. Jackson in 6th. Defense, Antoine Russell, and Amir Allen actually ended up in 3rd here, so he dropped a little bit. Quarterback was Dak Prescott. Davidson didn't make the short list. Running back was Bijan Robinson. Wide receiver, Amon-Ra St. Brown. We didn't have anyone there for us. O-line, Penei Sewell wins that. D-line, DeMarcus Lawrence. Dexter Lawrence in 5th here. Linebacker was Micah Parsons. Brian Burns was in 3rd. Thibodeau in 4th. So we have a good pass rush duo, but we'll see if we end up keeping them together. D-back was Devon Witherspoon. No one on the short list there for us. And Riley Patterson for best kicker. Good stuff there. So I'm going to go ahead and sim this week, and we'll see who our 2026 Super Bowl champions are. And the Kansas City Chiefs do it again, 27-13. Now, in real life, they just lost to the Eagles in the Super Bowl. I'm sure a lot of people are extremely happy about that. I didn't really care either way, to be honest. I don't like the Eagles or the Chiefs. Like I said, I'm a Steelers fan, so it doesn't really affect me. But 27-13, they get their 5th Super Bowl. Mahomes is the Super Bowl MVP, so they will be the reigning champs going into next season. And that brings up the off season for us. Before we get started, though, I do want to see if we had any dev trait movement on our team. Go to the adjust lineup screen. Easiest way to see that. Doesn't look like it. Actually, James Daniels loses his star development, which I didn't even know was possible for O-linemen, but it is. Nothing else looks to be changed there. Defensive-wise, Micah McFadden loses his star dev. So, I don't know about that. Amir Allen loses his superstar after his rookie season. Wow. That's a little harsh, but hey, it's how the cookie crumbles. We're going to let it ride. I mean, I'm not going to adjust anything like that, even if I think it's a little BS maybe. We're going to let it roll. So, yeah, he loses his superstar. That kind of sucks. And other than that, no other changes here. Burns still has X Factor. Lawrence does as well. And they don't give Patterson a dev trait. So, interesting stuff there. Did Deonte Banks have star before? I can't remember. Let me go look. He must have, because he didn't gain or lose anything. So, that kind of sucks, though. Little press conference here going into the offseason. They ask the same question every time, I'm pretty sure. So we'll see what they end up asking here. Let's talk about the next few months. What is your plan for the upcoming offseason? Make a splash and upgrade the roster. Make sure we win the draft. No specific plan. I want to make a splash and upgrade this roster. We need to upgrade the roster every year. Any specific position or just the overall talent? I'm going to say just the overall talent. I think that's a good answer for us. Offense or defense? Definitely on the defense, I would say. I don't know who is going to be in free agency this year. I didn't look too much into it. I do feel confident that I can upgrade the talent. Yes, these questions are so they're so bad. I hope that they just really just scrap this whole thing next Madden. It's not the best. We have to sign a player with an overall rating of at least an 85. Okay. I don't know if we're going to be able to do that, but we will try. Looking at the retirements here, Amari Cooper retires, Derrick Henry, Cooper Kupp, Devontae Adams, Geno Smith, Russell Wilson, Javon Hargrave, DeMarcus Lawrence retires. That's good for us. Kelsey retires. Joe Tooney, Trent Brown, and Emmanuel Lockett. Tyler Lockett. I was looking at Emmanuel Ogbah. Jordan Hicks, Alvin Kamara, Kirk Cousins, D-Hop. See if there's any other notable names. Doesn't look like it. Not a lot of retirements this year, so we have mock draft 4 that has come out now, so let's go ahead and take a look at this. So actually the Dolphins are picking number 1 overall, not the Jets. And they still like this right tackle a lot. They must really need a right tackle. Clay Brooks might fall to the Pats. That'd be a pretty good fit for them. Eric Springs to the Jets would be good for them. I don't know if Devontae Adams was still on the Jets, but he just retired, so they need a wide receiver now. Kawhi Farrell going in the top 5. Mitch Barksdale. Where are we picking? Oh, we're picking at 11. Now they have us taking a day 3 wide receiver. That's also probably not happening. But if I look here, where is Tyler Hitchens? He's going at 9. So we might have to make a move up. See if we can get him. I do like Hitchens. He would be good to add next to Dexter Lawrence. But we'll go through the draft in a little bit. Like I said, Caleb Rivers is a first-round running back. I don't think we'll end up going first-round running back. But we definitely have to see how free agency and stuff plays out. That's why I haven't went through the draft yet and showed you guys some of the players I like, because I want to get through free agency and kind of see where our team stands and what positions we address in free agency, and then go from there and see what we need to address in the draft. All right, we're in the re-sign period now. First thing we have to decide, Malik Neighbors, 5th-year option. I don't know, guys. Yeah, I'm just kidding. Obviously, we're accepting this. I mean, he has been incredible. Yeah, no questions asked. Thibodeau wants a 3-year deal. He wants a lot of money. We'll come back to this. James Daniels, he lost his star dev. He's 29 years old. Wants $10 million a season for 2 years. I'm going to let him test. We'll see. We might end up bringing him back. We'll see how free agency plays out there. We have $146 million in cap room, so we don't have to be stingy. Jaleel McLaughlin, I'm going to let him go. He was not very good for us. Jalen Hyatt, for 2 years as our 4th receiver, I really like him. I'll give him a little bit extra here. Make sure he signs. That's a pretty good deal for him. I like him as our 4th wide receiver, so he'll come back on that deal. Dan Moore, I'm going to let go. He had a really bad year. He wants a lot of money. I'm not willing to give that out. This is Gregory Sapp. I thought it said he got signed off our practice squad, or did we sign him? But he's actually a pretty good backup safety, and he's very interested in coming back. So I'm just going to offer him that 2-year deal and get that one done. Javonte Taylor, I like him a lot as some cornerback depth. I like our cornerback depth, and he'll take that 1-year deal. We continue to sign him to 1-year deals. Elijah Chapman, he's 26 years old. He wants $4.5 million, but he's just not that good. And I think that we can find better depth and even maybe an upgrade as a starter. So we'll let him go. Bryce Salas I like, but we might be able to get him back later. Zach Harrison, I'm going to let go. Desmond Teague, I'm going to let go. He lost his star dev. He was the undrafted rookie, but he didn't really get on the field a lot. I do like Marquis Marshall, but for $3 million, like I said, I don't have to be stingy, but I'm going to be a little stingy there. Isaiah Simmons, though, I definitely want to bring him back, and I'm going to give him a little nice boost here, and he will re-sign. He's going to come back for 2 seasons. He's been really good for us. Nathan Russell, that's just too much for a 68 overall. Clint Perry, he's good depth. That's a pretty reasonable deal. I'll give him a little boost here. Make sure he signs. He will. As a backup guard, I actually like his ratings quite a bit. So I'm happy with that. Demetri Brown, he can go. John Michael Schmitz, I would like to bring back as a backup center, even for a 2-year deal here. And he will be coming back. Like I said, we need some backup O-linemen. Ethan Sademan gets injured a lot, as we've seen in the games. Don't need to bring Drew Lock back. Anthony Johnson can go. Jake Kubis can go. Sam Hubbard can go. He was not a good signing for us. Leonard Floyd can go. He regressed a lot. Riley Patterson, definitely want to bring him back. He was outstanding this past season. 3-year deal for him. He accepts that. And if we go, we don't have anyone else. So it's all up to Kayvon Thibodeau. So my initial thought was I was going to just let him go and see what free agency had to offer. But I'm thinking I just re-sign him. See if he accepts this. I mean, this is a pretty reasonable deal. I think it's about $14 million a season. I'm okay with this. If he accepts this, I would be okay with it. It's a 3-year deal, and he will accept it. So my initial thing that I thought I was going to do was let him test, see what was out there in free agency, and if I didn't like anything better than him, bring him back, because he did have interest. But we just re-sign him now. It leaves us with $108 million in cap room still. So that's the reason why I did it. We have plenty of cap room. We need to go ahead and make a splash. Actually, it says we're missing one player. Did I skip over somebody? No. So I don't know why it says that, unless someone's not showing up on that screen for some reason. But we have a storyline here. It's on the field player meeting. Is this just going to be me asking if I want to change their motivation? But we're hitting the practice field here. Training camp, but we're not in training camp. It is. Number one motivation is should be more meaningful. What is your motivation? I really care about being close to home. Okay, well, Sam, I don't really care about what you want because I didn't re-sign you, buddy. I'm going to be honest. You get a little morale boost. Good for you, man. But you're not going to be on our team next season. Alrighty, we're here in the first week of free agency. Let's see who is available. Rashee Rice, 91 overall. Elton Jenkins, 87. Tyreek Hill, 86. Charvarius Ward. And he has no offers right now. I'm definitely interested in him. Going down the board a little bit here. A couple punters and stuff. Henry I don't even know how to say his name. I'm not even going to try. I tried like 3 times. I'm just embarrassing myself here. But I know who he is. He's a very good player in real life, and he's good in Madden here too. He has superstar dev. Lots of offers, though, and he doesn't have a lot of interest in us, so it would be a little difficult to try and bring him in. A couple other players here down the board. Looking pretty good, but not like a superstar studded free agency. And I don't think that is something that we should have expected, but it's still a little disappointing. But I definitely, if we're looking at quarterbacks here, well, we're not, but looking at the quarterbacks, Bryce Young is the best available. He's got a couple offers. Anthony Richardson available as well. Interesting stuff there. We don't need Rashee Rice. Elton Jenkins doesn't have an offer, and I'm definitely interested in trying to bring him in. We're going to have to up this a little bit. We'll go up like this. We'll give him $20 million for 1 season. I think that's pretty good. If you want to come down to New York or East Rutherford, I guess technically, that would be much appreciated. Charvarius Ward, he wants 13 million. He has interest in us already, so we're just gonna offer him this 1-year deal and see if he wants to come as well. We still have 74 million in cap to play around with. We could go after Brian O'Neill as well, just really beef up this O-line. Joe Mixon at running back. Let's go position by position here. So Bryce Young, obviously, we looked at that. Running back, Tank Bigsby. He has some offers here. He's got star dev. He's a young guy, 92 speed. He wouldn't be the worst player in the world, but I don't know. I don't really like any of these guys. We'll maybe come back to that. Don't really care about fullback. I don't need a wide receiver. Could add a guy. Quentin Johnston. Do we want him? Trey Palmer. Sky Moore. Tight end. We don't need that. We do need a tackle. For sure. We could move a guy to tackle as well. Wyatt Teller could be somebody that we offer. We do need 2 guards. James Daniels is still here, though, too. And he wasn't bad a year ago for us. There's also Will Fries. But let's look at Will Fries actually compared to Daniels. He's actually very similar, and he actually might just be better. And he has more interest in us. Let's go ahead and bring Will Fries in. A 2-year deal. I'd be okay with that. Really trying to beef up this O-line a lot. Ryan Ramczyk is really good, but Brian O'Neill might just be better. And he doesn't have any offers. A 1-year deal for him, would not be that bad. He's an 84 overall. He's pretty balanced. He looks really good. I think I'm going to try to offer him too. That's already going to be our 5 offers, but definitely okay with that. And I'm okay with the 2-year deal as well. I mean, we have a lot of cap room to play with. So we're going to go ahead and evaluate our offers here. If we look at our targeted, wait, why does it say? Okay, well, we only offered 4 guys. It says we offered 5, so it's not going to let me offer any more. I thought we did offer another guy, but I guess not. So Jenkins, Ward, O'Neill, and Fries. So 3 O-linemen and a corner. Let's go ahead and evaluate. 3 guys make decisions. O'Neill, not quite yet, and we're going to have to up our offer for him. But Jenkins, Ward, and Fries all sign. That's huge. I'm going to offer Mike Dana here a 1-year deal. I'm going to lower this a little bit. $11 million to come here for 1 season. We'll see if he likes that offer. We got 3 bars on him there. I really just need that D-line depth, and there isn't much here. We could go after like a guy like Vita Vea, but not too interested in that. We could also make a reunion here with Leonard Williams, which would be pretty funny, but we'll go with that for now. If I look at where some guys signed, I know that you guys like seeing that. Rashee Rice is going to go to the Raiders. We got Jenkins. Hill is going to the Saints. Kendall Fuller to the Panthers. Badaz is going to the Bills. That's a good signing for them. Henry here hasn't accepted any offers, but he has 15 of them to go over, so probably going to take him a little bit. Joe Mixon still doesn't have an offer. And, I mean, just for like a 1-year deal, like, why not? $6 million? You know what? We're going to do it. So these are going to be our 3 offers here. I did up our offer here for O'Neill a little bit. I don't know if we'll be able to get him, but I do have a backup plan if we don't. So let's go ahead and evaluate these 3 guys. 2 of them make decisions, and we only get Dana. We're not going to get O'Neill. Where does he end up going? O'Neill goes to the Cardinals. So like I said, I did have a backup option here, and that it was going to be Caleb McGarry. Now, it's not the best backup option. I didn't say that. but it is a backup option. And that is who we're going to go with here. So McGarry, 1-year deal. Gonna have to give him quite a bit of money here. But he doesn't have any offers, so he should just go ahead and accept that. I'm hoping Mixon also accepts, but he does not. So we already used all our evaluation periods. And after the first stage, we have 5 new players coming to the Giants. You know what? Jordan Brooks isn't getting any offers. If he wants to come on a 1-year deal, heck, I'll even do a 2-year deal. If he wants to come to the Giants here on that, ooh, looks like the Browns are trying to go after Joe Mixon. If they get him, they get him. I'm not like too worried about him. I just was going after him. You know, if he wanted to come here, he could come here. But Jordan Brooks would be a good addition for us. I would like to put somebody next to Micah McFadden. He's a really good player. So we'll see if he likes that offer. Mixon evaluates, and he's going to go to Cleveland. So Jordan Brooks looks like he's not going to make a decision. Maybe I offer him a little bit more money here. We'll up this a little bit. See if he'll like that. But we're going to have to simulate another week. And if I go take a look here at Mixon, he did end up signing with the Cleveland Browns. Any other big signings that we missed? Oh, Henry, he's going to go to the Rams. So Vita Vea going to the Cardinals. And that looks like that's about it. We have our 5th and final mock draft. And now they have Clay Brooks going number 1 overall. Springs going number 2 to New England. Hitchens up to 3 to the Jets. Hodges at 4. Barksdale at 5. So that looks like it's a pretty consensus top 5. Britton Levy at 6. Nate Hawkins at 7. Paul at 8. Tony Torres, the number 1 quarterback in the class out of Texas. They have him going 9th to Arizona. Daniel Stevens at 10, and they have us still taking this wide receiver, so obviously we will not be doing that. Terrence Johnson, Kawhi Farrell, who's pretty good. Alex Barnett as well. A couple pass rushers towards the top. It's a pretty pass rusher heavy class as well as O-line class, so definitely could address some needs in this first round. And after simulating the week, Jordan Brooks does sign another big free agent signing for us. So we go pretty heavily here in free agency, at least the most heavy that we've went thus far. And I'm not really looking to add anybody else. So we're going to focus our attention towards the draft. Before we do that, I want to adjust our depth chart here, take a look at the roster, and look at some holes that we have. All right, looking at the lineup here, our O-line is looking 10 times better. I don't think we have to address it. If we want to draft a tackle, maybe that would be the best thing for us. But Jenkins and Fries manning the middle now with Sademan, Andrew Thomas, and Caleb McGarry. We're good at tight end, good at wide receiver. Could use a running back still, and I do have a lot of them scouted. That was our national scouting focus this year. Davidson as QB1, obviously. Defensively, we got Jordan Brooks and Micah McFadden in the middle. Thibodeau and Burns on the outside. We do need some pass rush depth. I actually think I'm going to look in free agency, see if I can get at least one guy that way. Oh, Melvin Galloway has star dev now. Ooh, okay, that's new. So, yeah, surprise to me, but I still want to look at safety, see if we can make an upgrade there. Corner-wise, we have Charvarius Ward stepping in, Amir Rowland, and Deontay Banks. I might put Rowland in the slot this season. I'm not 100% sure what I want to do. Mike Dana here at right end. I still want to look for another like dominant end, maybe a run stopper, a guy who can do a little bit of everything. But our team is looking a lot better. We do need some pass rush depth, some D-line depth, and things like that. But I'm going to go into free agency real quick, see if I can find some pass rush depth that we can sign. I want to bring Nathan Russell back. He was a guy that I think he was an undrafted rookie for us. I actually liked him a lot in his rating, so I'm going to try to bring him back as some pass rush depth behind Burns and Thibodeau. Since we have good amount of cap here, I'm also going to try to bring in Khalil Mack as a backup pass rusher. He's only $8 million, so I like that. These are the two guys that I want to sign. We'll go ahead and evaluate, and it looks like they both signed. So we've got some pass rush depth now. Now the question is, what do we do with our first round pick? Well, here is the big board. Clay Brooks is at the top. He's projected to go number 1. I'm going to assume that we won't be able to get into the top 5. There's Clay Brooks, Springs, Hitchens, Hodges probably goes. We don't need a quarterback, so these two are out. Kawhi Farrell might fall, and he was projected to go after us. He has a pretty good combine, great strength, good speed, A power move, B awareness, D block shed. Don't know the finesse move, though, and that does scare me just a little bit. I think we have a focus scouting, though. I don't know if we got our second one yet, or did I miss it? I hope I didn't miss it. Jace Paul was projected to go ahead of us. He looks like he could be really good. He's elite speed, solid strength, A run block finesse. He struggles with the power. So he has D to F pass block power, C to D run block power. Still a good player. Someone that we should keep an eye out for. Tyrese Farrell's pretty good as well. There's Britton Levy. He was projected to go above us. He's a power rusher, great strength, decent speed. He's not the best athletically, but A awareness, A to C power move, C finesse move. So you have to assume that power move is probably in a B or an A, considering that he's a power rusher. So he looks like he could be pretty balanced and pretty good. Somebody to keep an eye on. Maybe we try to trade up for a guy like him, but this like 15 to 20 range, there is a lot of good players. There's Jamal Jacobs. He's another tackle, 22 years old, great speed, solid strength, A awareness, A impact, A lead block, B finesse, C pass block, D pass block power. Good ratings, but I wouldn't say he's like a blue chip player. We continue here. Terrence Johnson, 21 years old. He's a power rusher, 6'5", big guy, great strength, pretty good speed, A power move, A pursuit, C finesse move, B block shed. He looks really good, somebody that we definitely could consider with our pick at 12. If we continue down the board, there is Stanley Hawthorne as well. He's another power rusher, 6'2", great strength, solid speed, A awareness, C finesse move, A to C power move. So another guy, pretty, like a lot of these pass rushers are pretty similar. It's just kind of like which one is going to be the best. There is Solomon Ivy. He's another power rusher here, solid speed, great strength. He had the most bench reps. A to C power move, C to F finesse. So you feel a little bit unsure about him because you don't know his finesse as well. So like I said, a lot of those guys are about the same. There is Caleb Rivers, the running back. I mean, round 1 to 2 talent. He's a round 1 projection, 4.41 speed. He's a fast guy. He's got decent ratings. No A grades, though, which kind of I don't like. But he has the talent grade to go with what he's got. There is Alex Barnett, who we looked at in the mock. He came up a couple times. Good speed, solid strength. Only B finesse move, though, and D power move. So I don't think I'm a big fan of him. I don't think I would take him, at least in the first round. Maybe as a second round guy, I could see it. But I could definitely see us like potentially trading down. There is John Blair down here. He's a run stopper with elite strength, 43 reps. Great speed as well. He's really good athletically. He's B power move, C finesse move, B block shed, B awareness, A play rec. John Blair looks like he could be very, very good. I want to see some of these running backs here. There's Sean Brown. He was my favorite, and he has the round 1 talent grade to back that up. He's not the fastest, but he has really good strength. And he's not a pass catcher, but he's got A break tackle, A ball carrier vision, B awareness, A injury, which I like. He's going to be a slower running back, but he does look really, really good. Ronald Rowe looks pretty good too. He's around 1 to 2 talent, and he is a blazing speed guy. But it says he only has good speed, but he ran a 4.38, so I don't know what that means. He just doesn't have the skill moves, I feel, to be all that good. I did like Lance Lemon as well. He's a 2 to 3 round talent, and he ran a 4.47. So he looks pretty good. If we miss out on, one of these top guys, we could look his way. There was not really any fullbacks that I like, but the best one is Will Hamill, so I'll just add him on the board. Why not? And continuing down the board, there is a couple tackles that I like down the class. Not so much for interior, but I think that we addressed interior pretty good. I did like Trayvon Newman, but he's only a 2 to 3 talent. There was a tackle that I liked too, Emmanuel Mann, also a 2 to 3 talent. And then I think I had Cordell Whitfield. So he is a 3 to 4 talent. Those were the guys that I used my focus scouting on the first time around. Safety, another position that we could look at, but I don't feel like I have enough scouted on them to make a good decision. So I think we're going to have to pass on that for now. But those are just some guys that I like in this class. We'll see how the draft unfolds for us, see what we end up doing. I realized we didn't look at where any of the quarterbacks went in this class, the free agency class. Bryce Young is going to go to Seattle. 5 years, $126 million. Pretty good there. Same deal for Anthony Richardson to the Raiders. Baker is going to the Colts on a 1-year deal. Will Levis to the Bucks. Aiden O'Connell going to the Rams. And it looks like that is about it. All right, I did use some of our focus scouting here. So let's go and look. I used it on John Blair, who is a round 1 talent. True round 1 talent. I also used it on, if I can find him, Terrence Johnson. It's a round 1 to 2 talent. And the last guy I used it on was Kawhi Farrell, who is a round 1 talent. He only has D finesse move, though. Did use it on Farrell to see where he would rank. I think my favorite player is John Blair. He's 21 years old. He has the elite strength. And I want to go take a look at the mock draft and see where he's projected to go. Oh, okay, that was the first one. So Farrell's projected to go number 2. If we take a look, like I said, we pick at 11. I think I said 12 earlier. It's 11. And it kind of sucks that it has us taking this day 3 guy here, because obviously we're not doing that. Farrell is down the board a little bit at 14. But I see, okay, John Blair is down here at 23. So we could potentially trade back a little bit for a team that might want a quarterback, because Carolina is projected right now to take one. They let Bryce Young go. I don't know how the Browns are looking, or the Steelers, or even the Rams. I think the Rams have a guy. The Bears don't need one. The Titans don't need one. They have a young guy. Maybe Seattle, but they just signed Bryce Young. And I don't want to trade down too far. That could make some sense. Here we are in the NFL draft. Let's get into it here. So we'll skip ahead. Number 1 overall is Brian Claybrooks to Miami. He's a very good player. I mean, he's going to be a superstar if they use him right. Next up, New England. They're going to take Eric Springs like projected, and he definitely is the best wide receiver in the class. Can't wait to see what he ends up being. Hitchens at number 3. He was one of my favorites, but it was too unrealistic to just go up and get him. Number 4, Kawhi Farrell. Was he projected to go that high? I don't think so. So he goes there at number 4. Mitch Barksdale does go at 5. The Jags take Britton Levy at 6. The Raiders take a receiver, Nate Hawkins, at 7. And they signed Rashee Rice. So they'll have a pretty good duo there. George Hodges at left tackle to the Eagles. So division rival there. And the Cardinals do take Tony Torres at number 9. The Niners at 10 do end up taking Jace Paul, which puts us on the clock. The Rams are in desperate need of a quarterback. They don't have a future quarterback on their roster. They pick at 16. I looked at the Steelers. They have Jeremiah Murray, who they drafted as a quarterback of the future. The Browns have Bobby Meltzer, who they drafted as a quarterback of the future. The Rams don't have anybody, and I definitely am interested in trading down. And the Rams have an offer for us. So they want us to move down to 16. We pick up a 4 next year, a 7 this year, and a 7 next year. I think that's a pretty fair trade. We're not moving down too many spots, but they are trading up to get a quarterback. Maybe we could get actually a little bit more. I just want to see if I can get their first round pick. So trade first and pick up their second. Straight up for that. No, but we are close. What if we give up a 4? Throw in a 4 in there. No. All right, I'll add our 3. We get 2 second-round picks. We're so close. All right, what if I give them a 6th and take their 7th? So we swap a little bit. Not quite. I'll just take away the 7th. This should get it done here. No. How about a 1st, their 3rd, and their 4th next year? Where does that get us? Pretty close. We add in our 6th this season. Does that get it done? No. Well, I wasn't really able to get anything done, so I'm just going to go ahead and accept this offer. So we'll pick up a 7th this season, a 4th next year, and a 7th next year. Not the best value, I don't think, but that's going to be a done deal. So the Rams move up to 11, and I'm hoping that they take the quarterback. They leapfrog Carolina, and they do. Clint Sheffield is going to LA, so that worked out exactly how I wanted it to. I'm really happy. So where does Carolina go now? They're going to go corner. They go Tony Ruggs. Brings up Houston. They go Terrence Johnson. The Browns are going to take Matthew Murray. And the Steelers go Richard Dockery. That leaves us at 16. And I already know who we want to take. I'm not even going to double question it or anything. We're going to go straight to defensive tackle. And we're going to take John Blair, 21-year-old out of Notre Dame. He looks like he could be super good. He is the number 11th ranked player in the class, which is where we actually picked originally. He holds strong point of attack, uses power and technique to shed blocks, routinely converts leverage into power when rushing the passer. He has hidden development. Awesome. The Ravens take Caleb Rivers at 18. The first round running back there goes off the board. He's out of Miami. That's a good pick for the Ravens. I like that, especially with Henry retiring. The Patriots get Stanley Hawthorne here in the second round. That's a pretty good value pick there for them. We pick at 43, and I definitely want to get one of these running backs here in the second round. I think that's a huge need for us. I like that we addressed the D-line. If I take a look here actually at the board, where do the running backs rank right now? So Rowe is above Brown, and Brown is the one that I want. So we should be okay in that regard. So I think I can just sim here, but we'll go pick by pick. So the Jags take a tackle. Raiders go with Tyrone McCain at end. Eric Davenport to the Eagles. We'll have to see how he is. He was my favorite safety. And of course, he's going to a division rival. Cody Winkler goes, and that brings us up. We might be able to kind of trade back again. The Bears want to give us pick 51, so that's a couple spots down the board. But we pick up a 5th and a 7th next year. I actually really like this deal. So I'm going to go ahead and make that one. So we have a little bit longer to wait. We could trade back up if we need to. The Bears trade up. They take Jason Bush. So they wanted to go up and get a guard. So two teams leapfrogging Carolina there. Leon Clifford goes. George Tarrant. Kareem Knighton to the Steelers as we get close to pick 51 now. Don Nugent. And we should be good. Jeremiah Kitchens goes. And we're not going to waste any more time here. We're going to go ahead and go and take Sean Brown. He's 22 years old, out of Oklahoma. Shows good ball security at times, but needs to improve in that area. Needs to work on simple concentration drops. He's not a pass catcher. Fights for every single inch. Avoids big hits. Excels at creating yards after the catch, which I don't really care about that. But elite jumping, elite strength, decent speed. Round 1 talent. Sean Brown, number 7 in true talent. Drops his pads and plows through early arm tacklers. Holds ball tight to body, limiting fumbles. And he's a hard-nosed runner. Only normal dev, though. 88 speed isn't actually that bad. I thought it would be a little bit worse. We'll see what he comes in at as his overall, but I like that pick at 51. The Patriots get Ronald Rowe in the 3rd round. So good value again for them. He was round 1 to 2 talent. If he is the dev, that would kind of suck, but I wasn't a big fan of his. You know, he didn't have the any really A grades or anything like that. Coming up here on our 3rd round pick, I really don't have any clue where I'm going to go with this one. All right, after looking for a while, it's between Tavares Butler. He's a 22-year-old, another D lineman, but he looks really good. He's great athletically. And I'm leaning towards him over the other guy, but the other guy is Steven Zeitler. He's a safety hybrid, also 22 years old, out of Florida. He's also pretty good athletically, but his grades don't stand out as much as Butler's. And if we can add 2 great D linemen in this class, I think that's a win. So I'm going to take Tavares Butler here. Another D tackle, but we can move him around the D line a little bit. 54 in true value. We pick him at 75. He does have hidden development, so that's a good pick for us in the 3rd round. Zeitler goes 85th to Seattle. I was thinking about maybe trading back up to go and get him, but there's actually a couple players that I want to get later in the draft, so I wanted to keep my picks. And I know we have a couple 4s and a couple 5s, I believe. Ooh, Lance Lemon goes at pick 100 to the Falcons. I was thinking about taking him. I didn't realize he was already close to being drafted, but I would have liked to get another running back for some competition. We have 3. Actually, we have 4. Yeah, I should have probably traded up. We have 4 4th-round picks. I don't think I need that many, but we'll see what we can do. With our first of 4 fourth-round picks, I'm going to take Alton Pitts here, a corner. He ran 4.34, 4.28 at his pro day. He has F-man coverage, B press, D play rec, C tackle. He's not like the best, but he's good athletically. And he's ranked pretty low on the board, but he does have hidden development. So it's going to be a low overall, but hidden dev, he has a chance. With our next one, we're going to take some O-line depth. I've been scouting this guy for a long time. He's 21 years old, Trayvon Newman, elite strength. He's a round 2 to 3 talent, day 3 projected player. He looks really good. We take him at 107. He was 78 in true talent, and he has hidden development as well. I don't know if he'll play early, but we're having a star-studded draft right now. We're going to take Alex Alexander, a free safety, day 3 talent, 21 years old out of Oregon State. First in the bench rep, first in the 40-yard dash, first in the vertical jump, first in the broad jump at the combine. I mean, that is an elite combine there. He's ranked 107. We take him at 111, and he has hidden development as well. Oh my. Now, do I try to go 4 for 4 in the 4th round with the dev traits? I could try to do that. But the 2 players that I'm debating between, I don't think are going to have a dev trait, but I want them for depth. The first guy here is Darren Whitlock. He's 6'5", 232. Pretty good speed for that size. You know, solid bench rep. A spec catch, C catch in traffic, C catching, C release, C deep route running. We don't know his medium. It's C to F. I think I might be able to get him in the next round, though. It's risky taking that approach. But if I don't get him, I want to get Michael Levins because I want more pass rush depth. And he is number 1 on the board at the position. So I think I'm going to take him and try to get Whitlock in the next round. And I can trade up and get Whitlock if I need to. So I'm going to take Levins here. He's ranked 240, so not a good pick. Oh my god, he had hidden dev, though. So we go 4 for 4 in the 4th round on hidden dev traits. It'll be a low overall also, but wow, I mean, that is insane. All right, we make it to 139, and Whitlock is still there. So we're going to go ahead and take him right now. Out of Memphis, 22 years old. Let's see. If he has hidden development, I would be highly shocked. I mean, that would be something, wouldn't it? As Goodell announces the pick. He seemed pretty happy about it. So Eli Manning bumping his fist. Got a brand new New York Giant coming to the squad. And he's ranked 167 in true talent. We got him at 139. He's an NFL-ready pass catcher, and he did have normal dev. So our dev trait streak is over, but 91 speed, 91 jumping, 91 change direction at 6'5" is pretty interesting. We'll see if he can carve out a role here on the roster. Our other 5th round pick here, we're going to take Zach Ballmer. He's a day 3 guy, obviously. Z zone coverage, B impact blocking, C pursuit. He's a run stopping linebacker. He has elite speed. Only ran a 4.61 though. I wouldn't say that's elite, but he's 23 years old out of Boise. We'll go ahead and take him. He's 188 in true value. Only normal dev. Just some depth there at linebacker. Pick 171. This is our last pick in the draft. We don't have a 7th rounder, and we could take either Will Hamels or Chris Hunter. Now, Chris Hunter is 2 years younger. He's a 3 to 4 projected player with elite speed and elite strength. Hamels is 23. He's going to be higher rated, and he's pretty good too. He has F run block. They're both utility guys, so they're not going to be like the best run blockers. This guy has B run block. I think I like Hunter actually a little bit better, so I'm going to take him even though he'll be technically lower rated. So we get a fullback on the roster for the first time. Goodell announces him. We're going to be pretty pumped about this one. Eli Manning in the green room. I guess it wouldn't be the green room, right? It's the war room. The green room's where the players sit. That's the green room. Well, I guess it wouldn't be the green room anymore. We're like in the 6th round. Nobody's in the green room. At least I hope not. There was a round 1 to 2 projected receiver. Maybe he's still sitting there waiting to get picked. But Chris Hunter, he is normal dev. Just a fullback to add to the roster. So that's the draft, everybody. Okay, everybody, what did you think about that draft? Let's go ahead and take a look at the draft recap. 76 overall, John Blair with his hidden development, 95 strength, 78 block shed, 74 power moves. He's going to be very good, and he's obviously going to play right away. He's got an intense personality. I don't know if that's going to be good or bad, but hopefully he develops into something good. We really need him to. Sean Brown, normal dev, but he's a 76 overall to start, 88 speed, 93 carrying, 85 trucking, 81 break tackle. He looks pretty good. The ratings are good. I like where they're at. We'll see how he plays on the field. He's going to be our starting running back. Tavares Butler in the 3rd round, 73 overall. I'm going to have to move some of these guys around and stuff. He has 81 finesse move, 89 strength. He's a good player. I think he'll stick at defensive tackle, but I'm going to have to move John Blair. I'm going to move him to right end, I believe, would be the scheme fit for him. I don't really care what end he plays, but I do want to make sure he is a scheme fit at whichever one he's at. And I know that's going to lower his overall by quite a bit. Looks like left end is going to be the scheme fit for him. So let's go ahead and move him over to that side. And he does go down to a 73 overall, unfortunately. Oh, I guess with our scheme, neither of them are the scheme fit. So I think Huggins plays on the left, and he'll probably continue to play there. So I'll just move Blair to the right for now. That's all right with me. So Blair goes to the right end. Brown and Butler are fine where they're at. Alton Pitts, he's only a 66 overall, but he does have the hidden development. He's not a good tackler, so I can't really move him to safety. And he can't play man coverage, so he's going to have to work on that. I don't know if he'll keep his development trait for very long. Trayvon Newman at right guard, he's a 72 overall with the hidden dev. He's kind of like Jason Harvey, who's already on the roster, except the opposite. He's better at finesse and power, and he has hidden dev, so he is already better than Harvey, and Harvey's been on the roster for a couple seasons. Alex Alexander at free safety, which is where he will stay, 91 speed, 75 zone, not the best tackler, but he can work on that, and he is hidden dev, so I mean, what a draft for hidden development we had. Then we have Michael Levins, 65 overall, hidden development. He's going to come in with 72 finesse move, 69 block shed, 60 power move. And he has a lot of traits. So he could actually play pretty well on the field if he does get a chance. Darren Whitlock, I'm actually interested in seeing his ratings. He comes in as a 67. And that's a good starting point. I mean, he's not going to get much playing time early, but for a 6'5" guy, I like that. I like that starting point. Then we have Zach Ballmer here. Going to have to move him inside. It's going to drop his overall, but he's a middle linebacker in our scheme. He's going to wear number 55. I like that number for a linebacker. Actually, it didn't drop his overall. He's still a 65, so that's good. And his ratings are actually pretty solid. He just can't play zone coverage. So, and we do have a couple linebackers already on the roster, so we'll have to see how that goes. And Chris Hunter is a 70 overall. The utility guy. Number 12. Let's change that real quick. But I like the look he has, the no gloves look. I actually really like it. So we'll definitely keep that. We'll give him 46. I like that. Long snapper number, but he's a fullback. So that's our draft, everybody. Let me know what you guys think of this in the comments below. If you think I did a good job at what you would have done differently. Let's go take a look, though, at the rest of the class. I know this video is probably pretty long. I've been recording quite a while, actually. Ryan Claybrooks, the number 1 overall pick, hidden development, 85 speed, 82 finesse move. He's going to be a stud coming into the league already. So that's good for him. Eric Springs is going to be really good. He has hidden development. Only 88 speed, but elite route running to start. Just every rating is in the green there for him. Like seeing that for the Patriots. Tyler Hitchens, he was my favorite player in the draft. And he comes in with hidden dev. He's actually pretty comparable to John Blair. He's just better, well-rounded, rushing the passer is all. So good stuff for them. If we continue down here, George Hodges, normal dev. So the Eagles don't get a hidden dev player. They get a good tackle. He's pretty solid. Tony Torres was the number 1 rated quarterback. He will have hidden development. Probably sit behind Kyler Murray for a little bit, but he's got time to develop. His ratings are in a pretty decent spot to start out. And then the other quarterback, the Rams traded up for him. They get Clint Sheffield. He also has hidden dev, and he might play right away if he has the correct tag, which he does. So Aiden O'Connell was their starter. He was a 72. I think that's close enough for him to start. Tony Ruggs, the Panthers miss out on the quarterback, but they get a 77 hidden development corner. And yeah, he looks elite. So might be better that they missed out on the guy. Terrence Johnson, we didn't go for him, and he had normal dev. Power rusher, 83 power move. I mean, he'll be good if he gets to play and gets to develop. But we don't know if he will. So we go with John Blair. Caleb Rivers, the running back. He had hidden development for the Ravens, and he looks pretty good. So if we go take a look here at the highest rated player in the class, it was a corner. 2 corners at the top here. One in the second round for the Titans. Whoa. Alani Benson. And yeah, I mean, he's elite. He's got hidden dev. So good pick for them. But the highest rated was DeAndre Montgomery. He was taken by the Chargers. He only has normal dev, but he's just a good man coverage corner. Kind of reminds me of Charvarius Ward, but a lot better athletically. Clyde Callaway was really good. Oh, Donnell Wilson was good. But Reynaldo Davidson, we didn't take him. He's a run stopper. Hidden dev. He's pretty comparable to Blair. So I'm not too mad about that. The last thing I want to check is our division rivals. So the Cowboys, they took George Woodson, hidden dev defensive tackle. And he's kind of like John Blair as well. So you couldn't really go wrong with any of the defensive tackles that he took. Other than that, though, they did not really have a good draft. So we'll take that. Eagles, they took Hodges. We looked at him. They also took Eric Davenport, who I liked. And he has hidden dev at safety. He's a box safety. But he looks pretty good. He can develop. He'll be really good. He doesn't have the best athleticism though. They got a 71 corner normal dev, Leon Moreland, in the 3rd round, and then they also had a pretty good 4th and 5th round pick. They took Kyle Smith in the 4th. He has normal dev. He's a receiving back. You know, the Eagles like those receiving backs. You know, Darren Sproles, Kenneth Gainwell. They got some guys that they like there. Daryl Davidson also in the 5th, another normal dev corner. They already have good corners. I don't know how Mitchell and DeJean developed in this, but pretty good. Obviously, us were pretty good, and I skipped the Commanders, actually. So we'll go back. They took a tackle here in the 1st, Tyrese Farrell, who I really liked, and he has hidden development. Not a good pass blocker, but he's going to do well in the run game. Then they took Don Nugent here in the 2nd, another hidden dev offensive lineman for them. A lot of hidden dev players in this class, I feel like. I mean, we took a lot of them. Then in the 3rd round, they took KJ Griffin, a hidden dev corner, and they need corner help. So that's a good pick for them. They were just above us in the standings last season. And they also took Alfonso Tolbert, normal dev, playmaker. Route running's in a decent spot to start. So can't complain about that, but that's going to do it for this one, guys. We do pretty well here in the draft. We had a lot of picks, and I think we made the most of them. So I'm pretty happy about that. I don't like 18 for Sean Brown, though. I do definitely want to change that. 26. How about number 30? I like number 30 for a running back. James Conner comes to mind. I don't know why that's the first guy that comes to mind, but it is. So, yeah. Let me know what you guys think, and if you did enjoy, make sure to drop a like down below, as well as subscribe if you are new to the channel. I will catch you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.